Great.
Anyways, we're back again, back at it again with the podcast. Damn, Stassi with the watery eyes.
Yeah. I got an eye appointment on Thursday.
Are they gonna go rub some more shit in your eyes?
They're gonna see if there's something wrong with my eyes or if it was like from radiation.
Oh my god, radioactive.
We don't know if it's like a lasting side effect of radiation
Jeez, first long COVID and now lasting radiation.
from cancer. Yeah.
Stassi, everybody.
Who knew?
I went back and watched the one part where it's like my friend Stassi, and you're like the one who has cancer.
Yeah.
It's so fucked.
It's the way that's just what people call me now, and it's like honestly a little offensive.
See, and you know what's funny?
It's just funny. It really is just funny.
My classifier for you is my friend Stassi, who loves Twilight. And then they're like, oh, is that the one? I'm like, yeah, that's the one who did the podcast. And they're like, and that's the one. Yeah, I'm like, and she has cancer too. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. I'm like,
and then they continue and they go, that's the one that was a bitch to you in high school.
That's the one where
we did not know each other until
where I made the joke about walking down the aisle.
Yeah, I don't even remember what you said. I do remember saying that I didn't give a fuck about.
I literally was like, so graduation, right? Or I think I said, so we made it. And you gave me a look and you're like, I don't give a fuck. I was like, yeah. Okay. It literally was like like a scripted moment, like, okay.
Yeah. And here we are now.
And now we're here.
Now we've done a podcast twice.
Talking about two beloved,
vastly different supernatural, but the same.
Do you want to start with Scoops, or we already talked adults?
Scoops is last because it's my favorite. So We'll just start with the Nancy Jonathan. That leads into the rest of it. My dad just sent me an Instagram reel.
Oh, sick.
It is
of Nancy
Final
and
Destination has taught me one thing: to stay away from stuff like this. Oh, it's like one of those like Power Tower-esque things. You know, like those.
I hate those. Those are the oh shit. It dropped.
It broke. I do stay away from those because you know the Power Tower things, like at like
that just hurt my stomach seeing like, that.
The amount of girls who have gotten like scalped from having long hair, or like guys who are tall, or I guess it's happened to women too, but like it's mainly guys I've seen it happen to.
Hashtag so women can be tall too.
But like it's mainly guys I've seen. Their legs are so long that they go first into the ground instead of stopping, and they just like bone break. So I don't go on those rides. Also, those rides like at like fairs and shit, they just like get folded up.
Yeah, I absolutely don't trust. I absolutely don't trust fair rides.
So the mayor of Hawkins, he was up to something.
So he was trying to kill everybody.
He brought one of these towns in. Well, we know he was. He was letting Russians in the town.
Which is
okay.
Okay, so so the Nancy and Jonathan.
Nancy and Jonathan. They've been dating for 8 months now.
But we start with them.
Oh my god, 2 cats. I've been attacked.
Oh my god.
We start with like Nancy sneaking out of Jonathan's house. Oh, and that scene where Joyce is like, she fully knows that Nancy is sneaking out the door because Jonathan's got like lipstick all over him. And she says like, oh, you won't think it's gross to Will when you fall in love. And he's like, I'm not going to fall in love, but homie is already in love.
Homie is balls deep in love.
This is the season that you figured it out. So proud of you. You've come so far. I didn't know if you were gonna catch up on it or not.
What?
Will being gay. I will be honest.
I knew Will was gay.
The season that you texted me. And
yeah.
Will
I was
is
like,
down hard.
Oh yeah. Well,
it's the season.
I think it's the bowl cut.
Oh my god, he has the bowl cut the whole time.
But
I'm sorry, this is so gonna be rude because like Noah Schnapp was a child, but I was like season 3, worst haircut they gave that child. But then I saw his actual hair for like in real life, and I was like, it's not that bad. there
S-
there was like a single scene of him without the
I,
wig, and I was like,
oh,
it's
it
just
was a
too short.
wig.
It was really bad. But yeah, he's
Oh
always
my,
wearing a wig.
is it? What is Noah Schnapp?
I mean, I don't think in season one he's not. Oh wait, don't look him up. I have things to tell you. Don't look him up.
Noah Schnapp's. Oh, he has a twin.
Yeah.
Okay, what? Noah Schnapp's hair. Okay, I didn't hit enter yet, but
Okay, good. Don't, because
okay.
once we get there, I have.
So Nancy and Jonathan were working their summer
They're
jobs.
it's just an internship.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the crazier part. Like
Which
they're not getting paid.
which if I was Nancy, which I have been Nancy, but
Yeah.
not as I haven't got the shit kicked out of me as hard as Nancy.
You paused. I'm sorry. You like broke. Like you froze for a second.
Am I
All
good?
I say was that you were.
Okay, I was Nancy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for an internship that you're not getting paid for, that's just not worth it. Fucking leave.
No. The
Especially
main thing
since she
about
knows
this season
Hopper. What the fuck? She knows Hopper. Why doesn't she?
Yeah. Because Nancy doesn't want. She doesn't want a man's help. Like at the end of the day, she wants to prove that she's just as good as everyone else, and like I understand that.
Yes.
That's the whole point of like we see their relationship. We know they're really good at communication, but this is the first time where they're really having a fight because they're not communicating.
Yes. Nancy and Jonathan.
We do know that. Yeah, we do know that they work well together. Like that's why her and Steve didn't fit because she was never communicating with him.
Mhm.
And we know that her and Jonathan meshed well together because they did and they understood each other. But we're seeing here where they don't understand each other because Nancy is like they're both wrong and they're both right in their fight. Like their big fight in the car when they get fired.
Yeah, and when Jonathan is like, "You're a spoiled brat,"
which, okay, so someone
Fair.
did them, and like the amount of money that they kind of casually said that Ted Wheeler makes, they would be like millionaires. Like they
Yeah.
are rich bitches.
Well, they said that. I mean,
Yeah.
Jonathan said that. He's like, "Your
Like-
dad's a millionaire."
Like he makes like I think they said like over 100 grand a year or something like that,
Yeah.
right? But in like
Yeah.
today's time, would be millionaires.
Inflation for sure.
For real. But that's the whole point. Is right now
That's what.
Like- Jonathan, while he does have the privilege of being like a white man in this
Mhm.
world, he's grew up fucking dirt poor, working as like a 13-year-old to support his family.
Yeah.
Whereas Nancy is a female, so she's already demoted down for being a female, but she
Yeah.
grew up rich and she doesn't actually need this job. So they're
Right.
both right and they're both wrong.
Yes, which I feel like, that fight that they had in the car was
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
right, but like I'm saying that's why the scene was so good because they
Yeah.
were both right and both
Yeah.
wrong, and like even in the
Not
moment.
seeing each other's sides. I
Yeah.
didn't particularly love later on when Jonathan like apologized for being like, "Oh, I'll never doubt you again," because like Jonathan wasn't fully wrong.
Yeah.
Which like I did because like Nancy is the queen and she is always right. Much like Joyce, she's always right. But like she is also wrong sometimes.
Yeah. Because what?
She was right about like,
But, like,
the rat and something being fucked up.
Yeah, and I'm
And
trying to
Vincent
think
Price.
what was Jonathan's point was this just that she
That they
should
got
have just
fired.
just
That
left it alone.
They didn't ask for like permission to do it, that she didn't take into account that he needs a job.
Yeah.
He needs the recommendation. He needs, I mean, they might have been getting paid, I don't know. But like he needed that to keep going with like photography.
Which
she's
then
not taking, because she can get another job.
yeah.
Like, and she was getting treated horribly this season. Like the bullying by grown ass men, like disgusting. So
Yeah.
like again, they're both right, they're both wrong.
Which like also
Think of it.
that's insane to because think about their timeline. Like Nancy and Jonathan's timeline, they bring up they go and see the lady, they bring up the rats, they go
Yeah.
and see it, they get fired, then
They separate.
they separate, then they go to their bosses. No,
They went to the hospital.
they get fired, and then they
They're
try
in
to
the
get
hospital. I'm sorry, we got to talk about that hospital scene.
the hospital scene was. I mean,
That was
which
the
part?
scene,
All of it. All of it
Okay,
in the hospital.
the fight where they're upstairs and the kids are downstairs.
So stupid. Why did they separate?
Well, first of all, because they
Oh.
said only time
Yeah,
when
yeah.
Nancy goes, "This is my family," and Lucas has to be like extended.
That was
So funny. It's in my that's one of my notes. But like that scene of like the stabbing with like the scissors, Jonathan getting taken out by like a full ass chair to the back.
Jonathan got
I don't know how homie is walking the rest of
destroyed.
this
Dude, that I thought I genuinely
our,
thought
our teen boys really got fucked up this season.
I genuinely thought in that because what that's this is the episode with 9, right?
That's gotta be what?
This is the episode. This is the season with 9 episodes, right?
No, this has 8.
8. Well, whatever. Towards the end.
Okay, so season 4 is the sauna test. So it's this episode 5.
Okay, I thought Jonathan was gonna fuck.
I'm gonna say season like this show. Their episode 4 is always top tier.
I think
Every season, episode 4 is top tier.
I think the
Dear Billy for season 4. Insane.
Episode
the
7.
Test is this one.
I feel like always kills.
Season 2 was the episode with the polywog with like Dart and like getting possessed.
Mm-hmm.
And then season 1 was like the funeral episode.
Oh fuck!
Like the season 4, or I'm sorry, the episode 4,
the 4th episode.
Yeah, always insane. But yeah, that hospital scene, I was like, oh, they're dead.
I thought Jonathan was straight up gonna die.
And that shit was just made of like guts and bones.
That
but like Jonathan fully stabbed his boss like in the throat with a pair of scissors, or was that Nancy?
It was Nancy.
Was it Nancy?
I don't know.
I thought it was Jonathan with the scissors.
Maybe.
I thought she hit him with the fire hydrant thing. Was it scissors? One of them stabbed someone
Yeah,
with
I think you're right. I think Jonathan stabbed him.
I thought it was Jonathan who did the stabbing with the scissors, because that's like Jonathan's first time like killing someone.
Okay, so oh my god, that's crazy when you think about it. You haven't watched The Last of Us, right?
No, we already discussed this. I'm gonna start it.
But so
I was waiting for the podcast to be done.
Well, I was waiting for this too, but The Last of Us ties into the hospital scene. So for me, and people who will have played The Last of Us 2 will get this more, but there's an enemy or there's a boss battle where you're in the bottom of a hospital and you're facing this like body of like this just huge blob of like body parts, and it's so disgusting. But the mind flayer, right? Is that what? So the mind flayer in the hospital, when it oozes together, especially under the door
and shit.
That shit
crazy.
Was the first time watching the show that
you were texting.
I felt scared, and it gave me the same feeling I got from when I played The Last of Us and I versed that boss. Oh my god, he's loud.
He wants to go outside. He wants to go on the porch, but he needs his coat. He knows that.
His little coat.
He does have a little coat. He also has a backpack that he goes in.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so I take him to the vet. I must be the only person at the vet who has a backpack, because every time I bring him, they're like, "Oh, his backpack." He likes it.
So where were the kids at?
Okay. So
I know they're downstairs, but
so we go back. So they're downstairs because they can only do 2 up at a time. And Will like feels it, and then Elle realizes, so they go upstairs. But I think we got to backtrack, because that was like our main Nancy Jonathan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where did the kids start?
The only other note I had was just, I have a note that Will was like fucking shocked when he found out that Nancy and Jonathan like weren't together. They were, because Nancy, when they finally like do meet with the kids, Nancy's like, well, I was at the hospital, and well, where were you, to Jonathan? And he was like, you weren't with her? Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, in his mind, I think they're just immediately connected. Like, yeah, no, they are one and the same at this point. Like, he is so used to Nancy just being with Jonathan. I just thought it was cute that he was like, what do you mean you weren't together?
Well, I feel like,
but no, like the kids we got to backtrack back to your Cerebro.
Yes. So that's where
that's like the main thing is.
That's where the party immediately. So
that's
first
where
off,
the show starts.
Oh wait, never mind. I was about to mansplain. I was about to mansplain Cerebro to you, but you know.
Please mansplain.
No.
I have watched this, and I have watched X-Men, and I do.
I mean, you only have to
I
half
do know
watch.
These things.
You only have to. Shut up. You
But
know.
It's his radio.
Yeah,
well,
it's his
okay,
radio.
So we start,
but
Lucas comes back. No, not Lucas. I just read Lucas's names in my notes, but Dustin comes back.
But so
Dustin comes back, and I'm gonna be honest.
The Cerebro.
Explain it. Go mansplain. Go ahead.
I just have to, but I put it in my notes. I was waiting for them to make Elle a Cerebro because that's what her bath is.
Yeah.
And I mean, they've done it so many times. So I was just waiting for the 4th season when they like
put her in the bath.
Yeah, when they did it again. But anyways, okay, sorry. So
okay, so we start with Dustin coming back
from camp.
We start at the movies where they are on a
they're on a double date.
They have
Mike L.
No, it's Mike and Will and Lucas and Max are at the movies, and they're like bullying Steve. To get into the movies.
Yeah.
No, I only said it's a double date because they very much zoom in on Mike blushing, and it happens. You need to look.
See,
Omi is hardcore blushing.
I feel like we're watching 2 different Mikes.
We are, because I've watched it more than once. Like first watch through season 3. Like I was saying, season 3 is the first season where I was like, I don't really care about Mike and 11, but like they're cute, I guess. But this was the season where I was like, they're like they're leaving them as a joke, which to me means like it's not like it's not gonna last, which it shouldn't, because this is the whole season of 11 figuring out. Figuring out who she is. Okay, same thing. But when I rewatched it, I was like, okay, there's a lot of like little Mike and Will things in here. And that's when I was like, no, wait a minute. There's actually a lot of Mike and Will things kind of scattered throughout the seasons. And if you rewatch it, I think you'll see them since I pointed them out.
Well, now.
But anyway. I'm gonna make you like them. But anyways, they're at the movies and they bully the fuck out of Steve. And they're like, your kids are here. We get Robin. We get our first glimpse of Robin.
That's where the birth of the meme, where with her standing behind the board. Yep. I love those scenes.
But then little Dusty Bun comes back from camp.
We froze.
We froze. It had been hours.
Yeah, because it was Dustin, Max, Lucas, and Will, right?
Like I get why he was mad that Mike and 11 ditched, because like they really did ditch him early. It was like 4 o'clock. I think they said it was like 3 or 4 o'clock.
Well, and then like they also the rest like of them blatantly ditched him. They blatantly
they did.
Yeah.
But the next time we see Dustin with Steve, he's like, they all ditched me, and it was like, no, like Lucas, Max, and Will stayed with him for like hours.
Yeah, and
like, it was dark out.
Like especially with Will's history of like getting.
I'm surprised Joyce let him be out.
That's what I was thinking. Like Will stayed way longer.
And Will was so sweet when he was like, maybe we can just play D&D. Like, I just want to play. Homie just wants to play with his friends. Again,
that's literally in my notes.
Note is Will, it has not even been a year since he got fucking possessed for the second time a traumatic thing has happened to him. And all of his friends are like...
Everybody's so fast to move on. And he's like, yo.
And of course he can't move on. He got taken into an alternate dimension. God knows what happened. He died in the Upside Down. In season 1, Will dies.
Oh,
Hopper has
yeah.
to bring him back.
He dies. He does die for a sec.
Then he's like fully ready to die in season 2. And his friends are like, I don't want to play D&D. Let the boy live.
Literally. He got lit on fucking fire. Play D&D
the
with him.
season where Will is abandoned, and I won't give up on him. My poor child, Will. But yeah, Dustin, like, he's pissed, but like, again, I am so sorry, but they were with him for hours. I did love the scene where Dustin's trying to reach Susie, and they just are judging him so fucking hard when she doesn't answer because they're like, oh, she's fake.
Well,
Like, did you think Susie was real?
At the beginning, there was maybe like,
I didn't think Dustin would lie, but I was also like, there's no proof.
I thought Susie was fake up until it was nighttime and everybody left. I was like, if he is staying out there
by himself
all day,
he's crazy.
to get them to believe him, she's got to be real.
Yeah.
That was the point where I was like, okay, no, Susie's definitely real. And then Susie being the superstar clutch moment of the
Susie really has saved the planet twice. Like,
literally.
She is the best.
Susie and Elle.
I think we need to pause on her because she's her own moment at the end.
She deserves her own episode.
Gotta pause on Dustin because he breaks into Scoops after this.
Yes.
So then we go back to like the regular kids, like our rest of our kids.
And so Mike, Elle, Lucas,
Will,
Max, and Will.
Max. So then we get the boys, and it kind of splits boys and girls here because after that whole thing with Hopper, Mike cancels on Elle. She goes to Max, and this is, I think, one of the more important storylines of 3 is Max and 11. They are best fucking friends, and 11 is happiest with Max. Like, we canonically know that in season 4, her happiest memories are with Max.
Well,
this trip to the mall is her happiest memory because Max.
That's
also they did the cute thing where like they're best friends. They just spend like 9 days in a row together. Like they just keep switching houses. Like so sweet.
I was gonna say, well, like that's this is the most normal she has felt because Max doesn't Max doesn't want anything. Max is like,
she doesn't want anything from 11.
What do you want to do? What she wants. And she's literally just showing herself, like them sitting there.
There's a lot of discourse in this fandom of people who hate Max because they think that Max is like pushing 11 away from Mike, and like, she's pushing 11 to use her powers, but like 11 is the one offering to use her powers every time she uses them. Max is the only one saying like, I think 11 knows what she can do. Like, she's not a baby. She's been out of the lab for over a year now. She's still been locked up, but she had that whole thing in season 2 where she went away. Like 11 she knows who she is, but she doesn't know who she is. I don't know how to explain that.
But I think at a certain point, Max was pushing Elle to use her powers a little bit, in the sense that the only time I was a Mike apologist was at the very end when they were in the cabin and Mike was like, guys, she can't solve all of our problems. Like, she's going to get tapped out eventually. I feel like Max was part of that problem to be like,
but also I see the other end of it of,
I mean, she was the only,
like, she is the only, and she knows that. And she, at that point, she had not been attacked by the Mind Flayer, so she was still at full like power capacity. Like, and again, it's 11's, it's 11's body, it's her choice.
Yeah, 100%. I was
just supporting her in that, but like also like Lucas was being like, yeah, Max can do it, or not Max, sorry, 11 can do what she wants. Will was like, yeah, 11 can do what she wants. Like, I get where Mike was coming from and trying to protect her, but at the same time, he was so overwhelming
to come back to the whole D&D of it all. That, like, yes, the party is Mike's, like, that's who he fights for, but also like I feel like 11 is a separate driving force in it of herself.
Very unhealthy.
Yeah.
Very unhealthy for some 14-year-olds to.
Oh my god, yeah, and it isn't until he finally figures it out.
But yeah, the Max and 11. I really love and I really support it. I think their friendship is the cutest. And I think it's one of the more important relationships in the show because everything that kind of happens in season 4,
I
like
mean, it's
it wouldn't have
super
happened if they were
important.
together. Like if they were together, 11, like obviously I realize they're in different states, but like 11 would never be bullied with Max around.
No.
And Max would never feel so fucking alone because 11 wouldn't let her.
Yeah.
So, and there's
Oh,
a really cute
see
thing where
that makes it that's
Max,
so tough
Max,
because I didn't think about it like that.
well,
Sorry.
so this is just a little note, but in this is like both, it's gonna go with Hopper, Will, or I'm lying. It's gonna go with Hopper, 11, and Max. But I've mentioned it before that in the back, like the whatever they fucking called, like flashback scenes that we get of like Hopper's daughter, she had like that blue little hairband, and then Hopper ends up wearing that in this episode, like in the finale of this. Hopper like puts that hairband on 11's wrist, and so in season 4 she has Sarah's hairband.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Oh, but then something else is in this season. 11 11 has like a scrunchie, and in season 4 Max is wearing it.
See, I noticed that. I didn't notice the Sarah's hairband.
That's it's a blue hairband, yeah. But they do the same thing. When Max, you first see her in season 4, she's wearing the same little scrunchie that 11 was wearing like this season.
Interesting.
So,
but yeah, I totally agree with you. The Max and 11 of it all.
So important to this whole storyline.
To the whole thing.
And it like especially season 4, like it is so big because again, this is the first time that 11 really gets to do what she wants. She goes shopping. She picks out her own clothes.
This is the first time she got to be normal. She got to be a little kid. She gets
to learn about comics. And then they're just, again, the back and forth. Like, okay, we're going to be at your house tonight. We're going to be at your house the next night. Like, just the back and forth of it all. They're so fucking sweet. I love them. That was something very important to me. Something just when they went, this kind of brings up Billy, but when they went to visit like Heather, because they're on their own Scooby Gang mission.
Yes.
When they go to like see Heather,
they are on their own Scooby Gang.
When Billy is there for dinner, he says, "That's my sister Maxine." That's when Max knew that wasn't Billy, because he's never called her his sister. So you can see it on Max's face that she's like, now what in the fuck is going on? Because she knows that Billy has never called.
Oh my god,
they make a huge deal about it in season 2, where like a girl
so stupid. I thought it was because he said Maxine, not the sister thing. No, oh my god. You're so fucking right. Oh, that is crazy. Oh.
That was just a little side note. But then then we go, they meet up with the boys, which the boys storyline, the D&D,
which is just boys being boys.
It's the heartbreaking of Will has been ignored. He just wants to play D&D. Okay, so
that's the part where Will storms out, right?
Yeah, so Lucas and Max, they're dating, but they've broken up like 9 times because Max keeps breaking up with them, but then takes them back because they're 14 and they're just having a normal relationship.
Yeah, they're kids.
Mike has no fucking clue what he's doing with the relationship because he is just copying everything Lucas tells him this whole season.
Yep. And Will just wants to play some fucking D&D. That's one of my notes that like I thought it was really funny the whole time that obviously Will just wants to hang out with everybody.
He just wants his friends.
That's all he wants to do. But I thought it was so funny when it was like, Mike, nobody fucking cares you got broken up with. Let's just play some goddamn D&D. I was like, wow, Will is super insensitive at that point.
Okay, but it's so funny if you watch the scene where like 11 breaks up with him, right? When they're at the mall, because Mike's lying to her. Like Mike just tell her the goddamn truth, but Lucas is like, no, you can't do that. Like, well, homie, you can't.
That's why I think Hopper was like, I'll fucking kill you. I will murder you.
Like, they're all right. Like, they needed to break up because even if they get back together, like, they need to realize they're 14.
Yeah.
like maybe 13, we don't know. But when like Max is like they show Max's reaction really funny of like when like 11 breaks up with Mike. They show all
Yeah.
the reactions, but in the background, Will starts laughing. And I
Really?
don't know if that was like him breaking character or like what, but he like kind of turns to the side and is like,
I didn't notice that. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to go and see it because I thought it was so funny how homie did not give a shit. He was like, "Yo,
no, okay, but think about it. Like he went from his friends being there for him for fucking everything and like checking on
to
him
completely gone."
to like 8 months. No one's talked to him, most likely. Like they're
Yeah,
just being like, yeah, well, like it's fine, but like, eh.
yeah.
Um,
That's where I was saying. Like, I
he's setting
totally.
up his little D&D game. He's doing it. He's being in charge. He puts so much effort in, and they're just not playing with him. This is the
Yeah.
last time they play D&D that like as a party.
Oh,
And
really?
not even there because Dustin's not there. Which
Oh.
then, okay, do we do it now? Do we get to the rain fight now?
Well, we have 2 minutes,
Oh no.
so we'll have to start it in the next one because I wanted to tell you my mid-season faves.
Okay, who's mid-season?
Number 3, Will,
I love Will.
your boy.
He's a sassy little boy.
Especially after he like does not give a shit. Or wait, because
No.
is that towards the end when they fight?
No, it's like episode 3.
Yeah. Okay. So mid-season, I'd say that's
That's
generous.
mid-season-ish.
Yeah. After that, I was like, wow. Okay, Will is.
Yeah.
I mean, Will was right, 100%. Like
Yeah.
to be ignored by your friends for 8 months after literally
Being a
kid-
literal possession.
literally lit on fire and
Exorcism.
kidnapped to a different dimension. Crazy.
And his best friend's sister fucking branded him.
With the fucking coal poker. 2. Oh, speaking of, my mid-season number 2 tied for Joyce and Nancy because
They're always right.
they're killing it. And
Yeah.
then my favorite,
Still Steve.
Elle and Dustin. Dustin joined, I mean, which we'll talk about
We haven't
next.
got to Dustin yet because he's separate than the rest of the kids.
But Dustin, I mean, I already liked him, but he was definitely coming up. Okay, it's going to kick us off.
Okay.
Right. Next one. We will finish season 3.